We have one final little square on our sampler, and we are going to do a variation on the kind of 3D texture we did a couple weeks ago, where we stitch a wavy line and then fill it in with kind of these arc shapes. So I'm going to set us up like we did in that video, where I'm going to do a couple of wavy lines across this block. Now obviously if you were doing across an entire quilt, you'd be going from quilt edge to quilt edge. And these are just gentle wavy lines. You don't want to go too crazy here. Now, you could certainly quilt all these lines first, or you could quilt one line, do our little filler, and then quilt the next line and do our filler. However you feel most comfortable quilting this design, it's up to you. So I just went ahead and established this so that I could do the filler all at once. So I am going to start doing the filler between these two wiggly lines, since that's how most of our quilting will take place. You won't often be quilting up against a straight line or the top of your quilt. So I'm going to start here. So instead of filling these spaces with kind of arcs that build upon each other, they're going to be more like S shapes. So let me get one done and I'll show you how to build upon it. So after this first line is quilted, you do have this kind of weird unquilted area kind of behind it, and it will be easier to show you how to fill this in once I show you how to do like the actual pattern. So we're going to ignore this for now, but if you were quilting this on a quilt, you'd already know how to do this and you'd fill it in now before you moved on. To continue the pattern, we are going to travel up just a little bit along this wavy line. You want to move up about the distance of your quilting. So I'm going to move up about 1/4 of an inch. And now I am going to echo this S-shaped line back and merge into this wavy line about 1/4 of an inch above where this one kind of diverged. And that is the design. We are just going to be traveling up this wavy line and then merging into this one, traveling up, merging back. And you want to keep these kind of the flat parts of the shape kind of roughly parallel as you work. So that is the first part of this design. Now on the next segment of our kind of quilt, we are going to go in the opposite direction. And so this is eventually going to look kind of like a braid. As these kind of come together, they're going to be merging in the same directions because we're alternating direction. So I'm going to start here and stitch up and then merge going into this next wiggly line. So now that we know how to do this design, I'm going to show you how to just kind of fill in this unquilted area that's behind the first line that you quilt. And you're just going to stitch down off the edge of your quilt or along a border and just kind of fake these lines with a couple of echoes just to fill in that space. And that's it. That's all you need to do to fill this area. And now to reestablish, I'm just going to come back up here and continue quilting. So to fill that little unquilted area kind of above that final full line, you do the same thing as you did at the start. You just kind of travel and kind of fake some partial echoes. Now I'm going to skip over here and just fill this unquilted area, and then we'll do the bottom segment. So that is our design. I'm going to go ahead and finish up this little partial bit that works against the flat edge real fast, and then we'll take a look at the whole thing done. There's our final design for the sampler. You can see how it is very similar to look to, let me move over and show you this one. It's very similar in shape to this one where we had wiggly lines with kind of this C-shaped filler, but changing from C-shape to S-shape really changes the entire look of the filler, and you get kind of this almost wave or braid kind of feeling. I think it's very kind of textural, very kind of deliciously squishy. So I hope that you enjoy it, and happy quilting. Have a great day.